The 4th of July weekend was supposed to be a time of celebration across the United States. But in central Texas, it turned into a nightmare of historic proportions. Torrential rains triggered catastrophic flash flooding across the Texas Hill Country, killing at least 67 people, devastating multiple communities, and leaving 11 young girls still missing from a popular Christian summer camp. It is one of the deadliest inland flooding events in Texas history, and the search for survivors is far from over. The disaster began in the late hours of July 4th, when a stalled weather system unleashed a barrage of intense thunderstorms over Kerr, Kendall, Burnet, and Travis counties. Fueled by tropical moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, the storms refused to move, dumping up to 15 inches, 380 millimeters of rain in just a few hours. The Guadalupe River, which normally flows gently through the scenic hill country, became a monster. In less than 2 hours, it rose over 26 feet, 8 meters, sweeping away bridges, cabins, and entire neighborhoods. "It was like someone opened the gates of hell," said firefighter Jordan Matthews, one of the first responders in Kerrville. Water was everywhere. Cars were floating. You could hear screams and then nothing. The heart of this disaster lies in the tragedy at Camp Mystic, an all-girls Christian summer camp near Hunt, Texas. The camp, nestled right along the banks of the Guadalupe River, had more than 100 girls aged 10 to 16 attending for the holiday weekend. As floodwaters surged through the river valley in the early morning hours of July 5th, several of the camp's wooden cabins, built near the water's edge, were ripped from their foundations. The alarms went off. We tried to wake the girls and move them uphill, but the water came in too fast, recalled one counselor, who barely escaped by grabbing onto a tree branch. Within minutes, the lower cabins were gone. Initially, 27 girls and one staff member were declared missing. As of the morning of July 6th, 11 girls remain unaccounted for. The bodies of at least 5 young campers have already been recovered from the river, some found more than 15 miles downstream. According to officials from the Texas Department of Emergency Management, at least 67 people have died due to the floods. That number includes 38 adults and 21 children in Kerr County alone, 4 fatalities in Travis County, including in the outskirts of Austin, and several deaths reported in Burnet and Kendall counties. One of the most heartbreaking cases involves 2 sisters, ages 11 and 13, from Dallas who had just arrived at Camp Mystic for their first time away from home. Their bodies were recovered together near a broken fence downstream. In another case, the director of a nearby boys' camp was swept away while attempting to rescue a van full of children. His body was found Saturday morning by drone crews scanning the debris fields. Over 600 personnel have been deployed in a massive search and recovery effort across the region. Teams include Texas Task Force 1 Urban Search and Rescue Units, DPS helicopters and Black Hawk aircraft, K-9 cadaver units, National Guard troops, and dozens of volunteer fire departments from across the state. Drones are being flown across ravines, river bends, and debris piles, while sonar-equipped boats probe the murky waters for signs of victims. Divers have been operating under treacherous conditions, including submerged wreckage, electrical hazards, and tangled tree limbs. "We're working against time, but we're not giving up," said Kerr County Sheriff Matt Fry. "These girls are someone's daughters. We will bring them home." Devastation across the hill country. The physical damage is staggering. Entire neighborhoods in Ingram, Hunt, and Comfort are underwater. Dozens of bridges have collapsed, isolating rural communities. More than 400 homes have been destroyed or rendered uninhabitable. Power outages affect over 15,000 residents. Contaminated water systems have forced boil notices across the region. Highways and rural roads remain impassable, with huge sections washed away. In many towns, police are asking residents not to return home yet, as dangers like gas leaks, mold, and sinkholes remain. Preliminary damage estimates now exceed $150 million and rising.
Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I had my dad on.
On July 6th, President Donald Trump formally issued a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, unlocking federal funding through FEMA for emergency relief, housing, and infrastructure rebuilding. Texas Governor Greg Abbott also declared Sunday a statewide day of prayer, stating, "This is a tragedy beyond comprehension, but as Texans, we do not run from disaster. We face it together."
There it is, right there.
Red Cross shelters have been opened in Kerrville, Fredericksburg, and San Antonio. Lines for basic supplies, clean water, diapers, medication, stretch around blocks. Thousands of volunteers have signed up to help, including doctors, construction crews, mental health counselors, and even therapy dogs brought in for grieving families. As if the situation wasn't dire enough, meteorologists warn that more rain is on the way. The National Weather Service has issued flood watches for much of central Texas through July 7th, with possible rainfall totals of 2 to 4 inches, and some isolated areas reaching 10 inches. The soil is saturated, rivers are high, and even moderate rain could trigger new flash flooding, warned meteorologist Claire Hastings from the Weather Channel. Experts are also pointing to a dangerous mix of factors that likely worsen the disaster. Rapid urban expansion in Texas Hill Country has led to more impervious surfaces, roads, roofs, driveways, that prevent water absorption. Many homes and campsites were built in known floodplains, some without adequate early warning systems.
There's people in it.
Climate change has made rainfall events in Texas more intense and erratic, according to the National Climate Assessment. This was not just a freak storm. This is the kind of event we're going to see more often in a warming world, said Dr. Eliza Romero, a hydrologist at the University of Texas. Amid the grief, there are stories of courage. A 17-year-old counselor used her body to form a human chain and pull 6 girls to safety. A retired Marine in comfort swam through floodwaters to rescue his trapped neighbors. And in Kerrville, strangers are cooking meals, opening homes, and raising money for grieving families. Online fundraisers have already raised over $3.5 million to support search efforts and rebuild destroyed communities.
Get me the hell out of here! Look at that little piece of
What happened in Texas this week is not just a natural disaster. It is a human tragedy, a moment of national reckoning about how we prepare, how we build, and how we protect our most vulnerable. For the families still waiting for word from Camp Mystic, each hour feels like an eternity. "My daughter was supposed to come home with stories about friendship and God," said one father at a reunification center in Ingram. "Now I just want her to come home, alive." Texas will recover, but it will never forget.
In front of the house, it's like a river. I mean, it's like a lake.
This is crazy. Me? Wow.
Look at that little piece of
So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
Out of your car!
Oh my God!